Hello, welcome to Made to Heal with Angela Brown. I'm going to talk about quieting in our minds and why it's so important. Sometimes we just don't think to do it because there's so many things vying for our attention. But before I get into that, I'm going to invite you to check out the link in the comment below for my book called You Are Made to Heal Spiritually, Emotionally, Mentally, and Physically. I was stuck for 30 plus years and I hit rock bottom in the fall of 2015 and I suffered from depression, suicidal thoughts, anger, just childhood trauma that I did not know how to go get through, and I did not know how to process through my emotions. If you were raised like, hey, hush, stop that crying, or if you were raised to suppress those emotions, then it's really hard to allow ourselves to feel our emotions and then even know how to process the emotions. And so I give all the tools and techniques that I have learned in this last 10 years in my healing journey, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. I don't have all the answers, but what I do know is I have not suffered from suicidal thoughts or depression for going on 10 years. And that is miraculous for me. And so I know that if others are out there suffering in any way, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically, I know that healing is available and possible for you too. Yes, it takes work. Yes, it takes investing time in yourself, but it is well worth it. So check that out. When I wrote this book, I was thinking of teens and all adults. No matter where you find yourself in your frame of mind, whether you feel like you have a healthy mindset or an unhealthy mindset, there's just a lot of out-of-the-box ideas that I never would have thought of to help me in my healing journey. So check that out and share it with others as well. So it's important, and I'm going to read my paragraph in this book in my book that talks about quieting our minds and why it's so important. Because so how can we quiet our minds? We can quiet our minds through just removing ourselves from a noisy room and going to a room where we don't hear any of it. We can do meditation. We can say a prayer. That's a form of meditation. We can even just go get in the car and go for a quiet drive, like make sure that radio is off and go for a drive somewhere to nature where you can just release and let go. Anyway, it's so important that we allow ourselves, and it's important to set aside each time or every day, whether it's 5 minutes, 15, an hour, 2 hours. And if you're like, I just don't have time for that, I loved a Facebook meme when I saw that, hey, if you don't have time to take an hour out of your schedule to really connect and be still and be quiet and meditate and pray, then if you don't have time, then you need longer than an hour. So it's important to just take that time to really connect with God, yourself, with your thoughts. Be okay to be alone with your thoughts. Sometimes we want to distract ourselves and busy ourselves because, especially if you're like me, you're a high energy person and you want to, just get things done. It's really hard to relax, but it's important to develop that skill. Yes, it is a skill. It's something that is important to learn. So it's important to choose that relaxing spot, whether you're laying, sitting, driving, whatever you want to do. And the atmosphere, whether it's nature, your car, a room, but make it pleasant. Make sure it's a pleasant, nice area for you to go. Our brains are all the time, our brains get overstimulated, whether we're watching TV, whether we have social media going on. And that is kind of the design of and I hate to say it, I'm a conspiracy theorist. So I think that's the end purpose and goal for them, is to distract us from being able to connect, right? To connect with God and ourselves. And so there's always something vying for our attention. We got billboards, we have magazines, it's everywhere you go. People wanting you to buy their product. It's like I feel like we're getting shouted at all day long. And so we're constantly stimulated by different things. And so it's so important to take that time to be still. And when you're still, you're taking that time to be still, allow yourself to notice your surroundings. Is there a smell? Do you hear something? Do you see something? So bring in those senses. That's part of mindfulness. And this is being still and allowing ourselves to be still is being mindful of making sure we get that relaxation time. And also take time to contemplate maybe a relationship that you're struggling in. Take time to think about that relationship. Think about your part in it, their part. But we're focusing on ourselves, right? So mostly think about your part in maybe the negative aspect of that relationship and what's going on, and what can you take accountability for? What can you be aware of that you are doing in that relationship? And it's so important to think of ideas and ways to nourish a relationship, to strengthen that. So take time to do that. Maybe it's more than one relationship. So just, it's important. Be curious. When you're sitting there in your thoughts, be curious of asking yourself, well, why did that pop in my mind? Or why did this person come to mind? Or why did I say that? Be okay to ask those questions. Why, what, who, where, when, how, those kind of questions. Maybe you're working towards a goal and it's not going as fast as you want. Like, my big problem, and I think a lot of people struggle with this, because we live in such a I want it now, give it to me now, fast, quick. That's what people advertise, right, in their commercials, like so fast, so quick, and convenient. I'm trying to say all those words together. But it's we live in such a I give it to me now world that maybe we're working on a goal and it's not happening as fast as we want. So ask those questions to God, and just whatever it is you want to contemplate. Or, you know what? Don't think at all. Just let it go. Let the thoughts come in your little head like a little bubble, and imagine a balloon with that thought written on the balloon, and that balloon is floating away. Like, see ya. I don't want to think about that right now. So let the thoughts come and go. I mean, so with meditation and mindful breathing, it's sometimes easier said than done, but sometimes we make it difficult. And so if it's something that you haven't allowed yourself to do, is to meditate, practice. It just takes practice. And if you're like me, I didn't like sitting still. I'm a constant goer and a mover, I feel like. And so it's really hard to relax. A lot of times people have a hard time sleeping at night. Well, this is something that you can practice to help calm that mind. And you can do it as little as a few minutes each day, or an hour to 2 hours, or extended periods of time. Most people don't have that kind of time, but take time for you. Invest in yourself. Nourish your mind, and help your mind by learning how to turn things off. It's just part of life, right? We get bombarded with a lot of things, and so it's important to let go and let God. So please like and subscribe to this channel. Share it with others. It is my mission and purpose to help others in their healing journey, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. So God bless you and yours in your journey. And until next time, bye.